Hey, Soul and Love Stories crew, buckle up for a wild ride. What happens when a stressed out tech CEO crashes into her assistant's life with a fake marriage plan? Think Silicon Valley chaos, Napa Valley wine, and a love glitch neither saw coming. Avery and Ethan's story is packed with laugh out loud drama, steamy kisses, and a finale sweeter than a startup jackpot. Hit that subscribe button to join the fun. We're chasing 1,000 subs to keep these epic romances rolling. Drop a heart if you're ready, share it with your squad, and comment where you're tuning in from. Let's boot up this love story. Now, San Francisco's Moscone Center, buzzing with the electric chaos of TechCrunch Disrupt, the Super Bowl of Silicon Valley startups. It's a sunny Tuesday afternoon, and Avery Brooks, 28, CEO of Skynet, is riding high. She's just crushed her pitch. A slick demo of her app, something about AI, and, well, she's still tweaking the tagline, that had the venture capitalists nodding like bobbleheads. Her dark hair's pulled back in a power ponytail. Her blazer screams, "I mean business." And she's pretty sure she just scored a $10 million funding round. The crowd's still clapping as she steps off stage, buzzing with that post-pitch adrenaline only a tech nerd could love. But then her phone pings, and her world crashes faster than a buggy beta test. She's huddled backstage, live streaming a victory rant to her Skynet team on Slack. "We nailed it, guys. VC's eating out of my hand." When the email hits, work visa denied. Depart US in 30 days. Avery freezes mid-sentence, jaw dropping as the Slack channel erupts with WTF gifs. "No, no, no," she yells, slamming her phone down. She just convinced the big shots at TechCrunch, and now she's about to get booted back to Canada? "This is ridiculous," she mutters, pacing like a cage coder. Enter Ethan Parker, 30, her personal assistant of 2 years, strolling in with her triple-shot espresso, his dark hair flopping just right. He's the guy who keeps her chaos in check. No easy gig. "Ethan, not the time for selfie latte art," Avery snaps, waving him off as the livestream loops her freakout. He raises an eyebrow, setting the cup down. "Whoa, chillax, boss. What's up? You look like you just lost a server." She spins to him, eyes wild. "My visa's toast. I'm deported in 30 days. Skynet's done." Ethan blinks, sipping his own coffee. "Yikes, that's a plot twist." She takes a deep breath, then blurts, "I'm getting married." He nearly spits his drink. Mazel tov. Who's the lucky coder? Do I send a Zoom invite?" Avery crosses her arms, deadpan. "You're the groom, genius." Ethan chokes, coffee splattering his TechCrunch swag shirt. "What?" She snaps her fingers like she's debugging a crash. "You're American, single, perfect. We tie the knot, I get my green card, we divorce later." Boom. Problem solved. Silence hits like a 404 error. Ethan squints, tilting his head. "Hold up. Did you just say marry me? Are you trying to program me into a husband? I don't run JavaScript for love, Avery." She rolls her eyes. "It's not love, it's logistics. Come on, you're my only shot." He laughs, that nervous chuckle you let out when your app gets a 1-star review. "Oh, solid pitch, Avery. You almost had me. Now what's the real fix?" She doesn't flinch. His grin fades. "Oh my God, you're not kidding?" "Nope," she says, leaning in. "Ethan, this is a federal crime," he yelps, voice hitting startup founder panic mode. "You want me to fake a marriage? I'd rather debug IE6 than wear orange." She smirks. "Don't be a drama queen. People do this all the time. Green card marriages are practically Silicon Valley lore. No jail, just paperwork." Ethan's phone buzzes. A text from Chloe. "You at TechCrunch? Still a solo loser, huh?" He groans, pocketing it. Avery pounces. "Think about it. Promotion to PM. Double pay." He snorts. "I'd rather stay your coffee mule." "A month off, paid?" "Nope." "Fine, an office cat. You've been begging for one." He pauses. He has wanted a cat named Stack Overflow, then shakes it off. "Still no." She throws her hands up. "Ethan, it's temporary. What's a few months of fake loving me gonna hurt?" He bolts for the exit, dodging TechCrunch attendees. "Avery, I can barely handle your Slack pings. Being your husband? Hard pass." She chases him through the crowd, heels clacking. I'll throw in free lunches. Vegan tacos, your fave. No, he yells back. A cat and a raise? Not happening. She stops by the keynote stage, arms crossed, muttering, Fine, I'll hack his resolve. He can't resist me forever. Ethan ducks behind a booth selling AI-powered socks, panting. He's survived her chaos before, like when she optimized his desk with a standing desk he never asked for. But this, insane. Yet as he peeks at her, frazzled and fierce, barking at some intern, he catches a flicker of something. Cute panic? Nope, he mutters, shaking it off. Not falling for that. But Avery Brooks doesn't pitch and quit, and he's about to learn that the hard way. The next morning, Skynet's Palo Alto office hummed with post-tech crunch chaos. Coders debugging in hoodies, a 3D printer spitting out prototypes, and someone yelling about a DDoS scare. Ethan Parker slumped at his desk outside Avery's glass-walled fortress, sipping black coffee and mentally replaying her bonkers marriage pitch. Marry Avery Brooks? He'd rather debug a decade-old codebase blindfolded. He'd spend all night convincing himself he'd say no again. He wasn't about to let her optimize his life into a green card scheme. But then she showed up and his defenses crashed like a bad API call. Avery didn't barge in barking orders like yesterday. She shuffled up in jeans and a Skynet hoodie, hair a frazzled mess, clutching her reusable mug like it was her last lifeline. Ethan, she said, voice soft, eyes pleading. No CEO steal, just raw panic. I need your help. He squinted, leaning back. You're not yelling? Did someone hack your vocal cords? She perched on his desk, looking smaller than the woman who just owned TechCrunch Disrupt. The visa denial's real. Skynet's dead without me. You're my only shot after that pitch flop. Ethan rubbed his face, every instinct screaming abort mission. But those desperate eyes were like a zero-day exploit in his resolve. Avery, this is insane. We're talking jail, not a quirky startup pivot. She leaned closer, voice trembling. I know it's wild, but I'll make it worth it. PM gig, cash, anything, please. He groaned, slumping deeper. She'd just dazzled VCs yesterday, and now she was begging him. This is the biggest bug of my life, he muttered, defeated. Her face lit up like she'd just landed a Series A round. Maybe, she grinned, but it'll be the best glitch I ever coded. He stared at her, regretting every yes he'd ever said. Fine, he sighed, dripping sarcasm. But if we're in cuffs, I'm tweeting it's your fault. She clapped, nearly spilling her coffee. Deal. You'll thank me, or sue me, whatever. Ethan rolled his eyes. I'm so screwed. They barely had time to process the madness before the universe piled on. Ethan was sorting Avery's inbox, a dumpster fire of VC follow-ups and coffee orders, when her phone blared. She hit speaker, and a clipped voice cut through. Avery Brooks, Agent Carter, Immigration Services. We need to talk about your sudden marriage. Avery froze mid-sip, coffee dribbling onto her hoodie. Ethan mouthed, Already? She wiped her chin, voice steady as a pitch deck. Of course, Agent Carter. How can we help? Given the timing, the agent said, cool as a server room, we need to verify this isn't fraud. I want you both for a weekend with Mr. Parker's family in Napa Valley. Best way to see a couple's vibe. Ethan's jaw hit the floor. Excuse me? He blurted, louder than planned. Avery glared, shut up. Is that really necessary? She asked, faking calm. Yes, Carter replied. No weekend. We flag it as fake. Serious consequences. Silence dropped like a bad connection. Ethan whispered, Napa? My folks? This is a reboot of my nightmares. Avery's eyes screamed panic, but she nodded. Fine, where? Parker family home, Carter said. Saturday. The call ended and Avery spun to Ethan, who was smirking despite the dread. Your family? Seriously? She ran a hand through her hair. You're loving this, huh? He grinned. You wanted a fake husband. Welcome to the Parker beta test. Friday rolled around and they hit the road in Ethan's beat-up Prius. Avery quizzed him. How'd we meet? You yelled at me over a typo? When the car sputtered and died halfway to Napa, smoke curling from the hood. Great, Avery yelped, spilling her coffee all over Ethan's lap as she fumbled for her phone. He hissed, You trying to sabotage me early? She snapped back. You're the one with a junker. Fix it. Stranded by a tram Zhang with a faded best tacos in Cali sign, Avery was too wired to eat, pacing while Ethan called roadside help. Chillax, Avery, he said, tossing slang like a true Silicon Valley bro. You're a CEO or a drama queen right now? She glared, shivering in the evening chill. He sighed, grabbing her hand to keep her warm while they waited. Her pulse skipped, just the cold, right? And they both yanked back when the tow truck honked. Ethan dialed his mom on speaker. Hey, Mom, I'm bringing my girlfriend home. Don't go overboard, okay? His mom's voice crackled. Oh, first one since Chloe, huh? About time. Avery's eyes widened. Chloe? She hissed. Ethan shrugged, muttering, X. Long story. The tow dropped them at a rental lot, and they grabbed a clunky sedan to finish the drive. Napa's golden hills loomed as the sun dipped, and Avery gripped the wheel. We're toast, she muttered. Ethan glanced at her, hand brushing hers on the gear shift. Pure accident, sure, and smirked. Nah, we've got this. But as they flinched apart, he wondered if this was about to get a lot glitchier than he'd coded for. The rental sedan rolled into Napa Valley under a golden Saturday glow, vineyards stretching like a screensaver Avery couldn't stop staring at. This is your family spot, she said, voice pitching up as they pulled into Parker Vineyards. Iron gates swinging open, gardens trimmed to perfection, and a mansion that looked like it belonged in a wine commercial. Ethan parked, smirking. Yep, home sweet winery. Don't geek out too hard. Avery stepped out, tugging her blazer, still clutching her suitcase like a TechCrunch lifeline. You've been fetching my coffee while this was an option? Are you allergic to money? Before Ethan could quip back, the front door flew open, and Grandma Ruth emerged. Silver hair in a tight bun, eyes sharp enough to spot a typo in a 100-page deck. Ethan, my boy, she called, yanking him into a hug. Then she turned to Avery, scanning her like a VC sizing up a pitch. So, you're the one who snagged my wild grandson? Avery forced a grin, stomach doing flips. Hi, I'm Avery. Nice to meet you. Ruth linked arms, pulling her inside. We'll see if you're as good as he claims, dear. The living room was straight out of a Napa fantasy. Vaulted ceilings, a chandelier dripping crystals, and Ethan's parents lounging with rosé. Ethan, his mom cried, rushing over for a squeeze. Oh, he once torched the kitchen trying to flip pancakes. Smoke everywhere. Avery laughed, picturing a mini Ethan in chaos, and suddenly he felt cute. His dad clapped his shoulder, then eyed Avery. You're the fiancé? You know he hates suits, right? She nodded, thrown. Yeah, totally. Then Chloe strutted in, blonde, flawless, dripping in vineyard chic disdain. Ethan, she purred, ignoring Avery. Long time. Avery tensed. Chloe smirked. So, you're the secret girl? He never mentioned you. Ethan slid an arm around Avery's waist. Chloe, meet my fiancé. Then to kill the snark, he pulled Avery in and kissed her. Firm, fast, right there in front of everyone. Her brain glitched. It was fake, sure, but his lips were warm, and her knees buckled. Chloe's eyes narrowed. Adorable, she hissed. Ruth raised an eyebrow. Well, isn't that sweet? Avery pulled back, cheeks blazing, muttering, yeah, real sweet, wondering why her heart was running a stress test. Dinner that night was a vineyard spectacle, a long oak table under candlelight, wine flowing like VC cash at a Series B. Avery sat beside Ethan, faking flirty glances while Chloe lobbed jabs. So he proposed over Slack, huh? Then Ruth tapped her glass, silencing the chatter. Time for a little game, she grinned, passing out wine samples. Wine tasting, guess the vintage. Avery sipped, floundered, and blurted, red? Ethan jumped in. She's a Coke girl, don't judge. The table laughed, but Ruth's eyes gleamed. Speaking of taste, Avery, what's Ethan's favorite food? Avery froze. Pizza? Ethan swooped in. She's kidding. It's tacos. She forgets stuff when she's coding. Ruth smirked. Cute. Then Ruth dropped the bomb. Since you're engaged, why wait? We're throwing a wedding tomorrow in the vineyard. Avery choked on her Coke. Thanks, Ethan. Coughing like she'd swallowed a bug. A what? Ethan patted her back, grinning. Grandma, that's fast. Ruth waved it off. Just family, a little ceremony. You're here. Avery shot Ethan a save-me look, but he shrugged. Guess it's a dry run, huh? She hissed. This is running, you taco-brained idiot. Sunday morning hit like a deadline crunch. Staff strung fairy lights through the vines, and Ruth shoved Avery into a white sundress. Perfect, Ruth beamed. Avery stared at her reflection, muttering, I'm a CEO, not a Napa bride. Ethan knocked, strolling in with a linen shirt and slacks, looking too good. Ready to crash this? He teased. She glared. You owe me a lifetime of tacos. The ceremony was small but gorgeous. Vine rows, a wooden arch. Parker's watching. Ethan stood at the altar, and when Avery walked up, his grin softened. Vows hit. Ethan said, Avery, you fry my circuits, but I'm hooked. She smirked. Ethan, you're the glitch I'd never patch. Laughter rippled, but their eyes locked, electric. They said I do, and Ethan kissed her. Slow, real, too good for fake. Avery's head spun. Not the plan. Post-wedding, the family toasted with bubbly, but Avery bolted to the balcony, Napa's moon casting silver over the vines. Ethan followed, hands in pockets. Ditching your fake groom already? He asked, leaning on the railing. She sighed, staring up. That kiss, it wasn't fake, was it? He paused, stepping closer, voice low. You tell me. Her pulse raced. Ethan, we're supposed to be acting. He tilted his head, blue eyes glinting. Were we? I've been debugging feelings for you since TechCrunch, and I'm failing. She gaped. What? Before she could reboot, he cupped her face and kissed her. No crowd, no script, just him, warm and steady, tasting of wine. She melted, gripping his shirt, logic frying. When they parted, she gasped. You're nuts! He grinned, breathless. And you kissed back, boss. She turned away, cheeks flaming. This wasn't supposed to happen. He touched her arm. But it did. A flash popped. Chloe, phone up, smirking from the doorway. Gotcha, she said. I'm sending this to Agent Carter. Proof it's fake, Ethan, unless you spill. Avery's stomach dropped. Chloe, don't... Ethan cut in, cool as ever. Go ahead. I don't care. Chloe blinked, thrown. Avery stared at him, heart pounding. You're serious? He squeezed her hand. Dead serious. Chloe laughed sharp. Fine, keep your little game, but it's looking pretty real now. She strutted off, leaving Avery reeling. Ethan turned to her. What do you feel? She swallowed, voice shaky. I love you. His grin widened, and she knew she'd just crashed her own code. Hard. Back in Silicon Valley, Avery tried to patch her system after Napa's chaos. Those vineyard kisses clung like a stubborn bug, so she dodged Ethan, burying herself in Skynet servers, ghosting their coffee runs. He'd ping, tacos today? She'd slack back, buried in code. Truth was, she was freaking out over loving him. Then Monday crashed in. Ethan didn't show. No snarky emails, no espresso peace offerings. By lunch, HR dropped the kill switch. He'd quit. Avery's heart flatlined harder than a failed deploy. She grabbed her bag, bolting for San Francisco International Airport. He'd once mentioned a Seattle job he'd passed on. He's leaving. She weaved through traffic, cursing every Prius, and stormed the terminal. There he was, gate-bound, backpack slung, ticket in hand. Ethan, she shouted, voice bouncing off the walls. He spun, eyes wide as she sprinted up, panting. I'm a total noob, she yelled, strangers gawking. I ran 'cause I suck at love. Worse than my first app. But I love you, you glitchy idiot. Chloe stepped from the crowd, smirking. I lost this round, but he's worth keeping. She winked and strutted off. Ethan dropped his bag, grinning like he'd hacked the mainframe. He ran to her, kissing her. Deep, real, no Napa script. Pulling back, he yanked a simple ring from his pocket and knelt. Marry me, Avery. No immigration hacks, just us. She laughed, teary. Yes, you crash-causing fool. 2 weeks later, Napa Valley shimmered under a sunset. Vines heavy as Avery stood in a white lace dress. No last-minute loner, the real deal. The vineyard garden glowed with lights, a taco bar steaming instead of some stuffy buffet. Ethan trounced up, grinning. Cali-style wedding, baby. Grandma Ruth adjusted Avery's veil, whispering, "Knew you'd debug this." Avery smirked. "You're a sneakier VC than I thought." Ethan waited at the altar in a gray suit, tie ditched, pure him, eyes sparkling as she approached. The officiant kicked off, but they barely listened, too busy grinning. Vows hit. Ethan said, "Avery, you crashed my life's OS, and I'd never roll back." She grinned, "Ethan, you're the bug I'd never patch. My best upgrade." The crowd chuckled, then gasped as Ethan fumbled the ring, dropping it into the grass. "Whoops," he laughed. Avery scooped it up, then pulled a Skynet USB ring from her pocket, sliding it on him. "This is you. Tech and clumsy." He beamed. "You just leveled up my life." They said, "I do," kissing under Napa's golden sky as cheers erupted. Later, munching tacos, Agent Carter strolled up, smirking. "Knew it'd stick. Now it's legit." Avery laughed, Ethan whispering, "You're my unfixable bug." She leaned into him, the vineyard breeze wrapping them tight. Silicon Valley could wait. This was their perfect patch. And that's the epic reboot of Avery and Ethan. From a fake marriage crash to a Napa Valley love hack. Sweeter than a Silicon Valley IPO. What did you think of their wild ride? Would you fake it till you make it with your boss? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that heart if you're all in for this vibe. Share it to glitch up your friends' feeds. And subscribe to Soul and Love Stories. Help us hit 1,000 subs for more romance upgrades. Want more tech meets love tales? Click right here for the next story. See you soon, Coders of Love.